Massive yachts like private aircraft and homes are popular among the rich. They're one of the most prominent signs of their worldwide status. Mega yachts are big, sumptuous vessels that range in length from 79 to 500 feet and have a competent crew. There are many expensive boats out there, and we'll look at the top 5. But the ultra-rich are spending more than ever on the building of more of these luxury vessels even as we speak. Sam Tucker is the head of the Super Yacht Research at Vessel's Value, a leading vessel valuation company. When asked, he had a few things to say about the mega yacht market from 2020. The market's been roaring demand for extravagantly high-end yachts has outstripped supply, and it's impossible to get a slot in a new-built yard. They are totally booked. In other words, 2020 was a great year to be rich or to be a mega yacht manufacturer. Any rich person who owns a yacht would want for the ride to be just the way they pronounce, with the sea silent, and this is something they take into their own hands with the exotic features and designs they implement on the seafaring vessels. So in this video, we'll be looking at the 5 people who have splurged the most cash in their journey across the 7 seas. But first, welcome back to our channel. Before we dive in, make sure you to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video from us. Number 5. Dubai, $400 million. In 1995, Bloem and Voss, in collaboration with Larsen, began the project of building the ship for the Bulkaya of Brunei Prince Jeffrey. However, he didn't go through with the construction. So that by 2001, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of the Emirate of Dubai, would have taken over and completed the project. This was the largest yacht from 2006 to 2009, with a length of 530 feet and a beam of 72 feet. It has since been replaced as the biggest boy in the 7 seas by the Eclipse and the Azam in that order. However, it still boasts some of the greatest luxuries that one can experience within its 8 decks, 88 crew members, and 115 guests. Guests are privy to a 10-meter swimming pool, a squash court, a cinema, 20 water bikes, a disco, a lobster tank, and a pristine dining room that sits up to 90 guests. The ship also has a helipad and 2 long motorboats and the 4 MTU-20V diesel engines. While you get all this luxury across the open seas at a speed of 26 knots and a distance of up to 8,500 nautical miles. Number 4. MYA Plus, $527 million. When it comes to mega yachts, the Emirati are the leading customers in the market. They own at least half of the most expensive super yachts in the world. And the A Plus at $527 million is one of them. It is owned by Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the owner of the top English soccer club. Manchester City is worth $22 billion. He is the Deputy Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates and a member of the Abu Dhabi royal family. The A Plus is a 482 feet long and has a beam standing at 70 feet. However, the vessel is still able to move its massive way across the ocean at a surface speed of 22.9 knots and a maximum speed of over 25 knots. This speed comes from the twin engines that generate 7,990 horsepower. Each A Plus, formerly called Topaz, is currently the 9th largest in the world. Despite being launched in 2012, it has 8 decks with a swimming platform and a swimming pool, double helicopter landing pads, a jacuzzi and fitness room, a conference room, a cinema, tender garage, and an underwater lights. The rooms are large and clad with luxury designs, and the crew and staff take care of Sheikh Mansour and any guests with the best culinary and hospitality treatments. Number 3. Azam, $605 million. This mega yacht is owned by Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Sounds familiar, right? Sheikh Khalifa is the half-brother of Sheikh Mansour. And as the head of the ruling family of the UAE, Sheikh Khalifa is also the chairman of the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which controls assets worth almost $900 billion. The most managed by any ruler anywhere in the world. But I disagree. Al Nahyan is surely interesting, and maybe you can let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a video about them. So when you consider all this wealth and status, having the largest private super yacht in the world at a price of $605 million at an annual cost of $60 million will not seem like such a big deal anymore. The yacht was built and released by a German shipyard, Larsen Yachts, in 2013. And it has a length of 590 feet, a salon at 95 feet, and a beam of 59 feet. And yet, despite its huge size, the two gas turbines and diesel engines generate up to 47,000 horsepower and have to move the behemoth at the top speed of 32 knots. And while the vessel darts through open seas at high speed, its 60 crew members and 35 passengers take it slow and soak in the beauty of the water, which is probably what the fish is called the planet. However, unlike our planet, the Azam is properly named in the name of the yacht being an Arabic word that translates to resolute in English. The foreshift is about 50 meters in length and has a helipad on it. Inside the multi-tech yacht, there are about 50 guest rooms, a master, and several other immaculate amenities meant for the royalty. The interior design was done by Christophe Leoni of Naughty Yachts. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about this yacht is that it took Larsen and Leoni just 3 years to build this, and it was almost 600 feet. The ship is 57 feet longer than the next yacht on our list. Number 2, Eclipse. $1.5 billion. Bloom & Voss are a subsidiary of Larsen, which is probably the top building companies in the world in its beginnings. Bloom & Voss has specialized in building military vessels, with the Bismarck vessel being its most iconic. They launched the Eclipse in 2010, 6 years before being acquired by Larsen, and stands at 533 feet. It was the longest yacht until the Azam came along in 2013. And today it remains the fourth longest super yacht. The Eclipse has two powerful diesel engines that propel the yacht at 22 knots, 40,000 horsepower, and staying true to their military history. Bloom & Voss have tested a missile detection system and a submarine that will submerge as low as 50 meters into the water. However, defending against military attacks is not all there to this yacht, because what form of attack is more insidious than the pressing camera lens of the paparazzi? That's right, the ship comes installed with an anti-paparazzi system that stops digital cameras from taking a shot. What the system does is make use of a laser shield that beams infrared to detect a digital camera and focus bright light on it to render any photo useless. Basically, a high-budget, high-tech version of the police shining a torch, and then proceeding to slap you in the face. Eclipse has 24 guest cabins, 2 large pools, many hot tubs, a disco ball, and 2 helipads. The vessel is owned by Russian-Israeli billionaire businessman Roman Abramovich, which is also the owner of the English soccer team and current champions of Europe, Chelsea Football Club. And when he and Sheikh Mansour are done playing in the Seven Seas, they go head-to-head in the English Premier League and other European competitions. He and Sheikh Mansour splurge a lot of money there, sometimes too much that the authorities have to slap them with a fine, but nothing as Mr. Abramovich can deal with his Eclipse super yacht, which is currently worth $1.5 billion, is only a fraction of his $18 billion wealth. Number 1, History Supreme. $4.8 billion. This vessel is the smallest on our list. It's not remarkably fast and it has the least amount of utilities, but it is the only one covered in gold, platinum, and other luxurious materials. And that's enough to shoot up its price to a whopping $4.8 billion, making it the most expensive yacht ever sold. Now that is a lot to spend on a boat. It is said to have been designed by Liverpool luxury designer Stuart Hughes in 2011 when he was announced the project. He did not expressly state who the owner was, but gave hints to suggest it was Malaysian billionaire Robert Kwok. He is one of only 3 Malaysians with a net worth of over $5 billion, for the other 2 having a net worth of $5 billion, having just over $10 billion. That makes him the clear culprit, since the ship costs the same as the net worth of the other 2 billionaires. The yacht has a luxurious master suite with a wall made from meteoric stone, with a sculpture made from real T-Rex dinosaur bones sourced from Arizona, and said it would be worth $80,000. You know, the way people hang sculptures of dead animals in their house? Only richer this time, it was no surprise. Seeing this shift from Stuart Hughes, seeing as he loves to slap gold, diamonds, and more on iPhones and bottles, raising their value to insane prices. Now, these yachts are all very expensive and you want them good, could come from this level of vanity. Well, let's hear from Peter Larson, the CEO of Larson, and kind of like the highest authority when it comes to yachts. As we've seen in this video, he says that on the building of a ZAM, about 6 million hours of manpower was used, and this translates to employment for over 4,000 families. That's not even taking into account the amount of employment produced by maintaining these ships. So you've realized that the wealthiest lavish lifestyles finance the lives of ordinary people. But what do you think of the 5 most expensive super yachts in the world? Which one do you prefer? Would you spend $10 billion on a yacht? If not a boat, what would you rather buy? Please share your thoughts in the space below. Also, if you like this video, please subscribe and like it. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch up with you shortly.